17-year-old Karmelo Anthony was silent after bonding out of the Collin County Jail and being placed on house arrest.
How is this self-defense?
2 days after the family of Austin Metcalf buried their son, they were at the Collin County Courthouse for a bond reduction hearing Monday. Karmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing Metcalf at a Frisco track meet earlier this month. The case has quickly become national news, drawing a lot of attention, resulting in threats and increased security at the courthouse.
Threats and, talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family.
Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom, but we did capture the Anthony family arriving. His father, Andrew, testified in the hearing. District Court Judge Angela Tucker said that she's never gotten this volume of calls and had to have this level of security in the courtroom in her 13 years on the bench. Court documents say Anthony stabbed Metcalf during a fight. When an officer arrived, court documents say Anthony told the officer, "I was protecting myself." Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis spoke after the hearing.
The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. And it's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
Anthony's father testified he's taking a leave from work because of the incident, and his wife is a stay-at-home mother with 3 other children. During the hearing, the prosecution brought up the fact that more than $400,000 have been raised for the Anthony family, saying a reduction is not needed because they have the funds. A big question in this case will be, why did Anthony bring a weapon to a high school stadium? It's a question that was asked of his attorney.
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into.
Now, in the opening statement to the media from that interview that you just heard, he led with talking about self-defense. Again, the court documents mention self-defense. We'll have to wait and see how that defense will be made in court when things pan out. Now, according to the judge, the terms of the bond are house arrest and ankle monitor. She told him to stay off social media, and he has to personally call her bailiff every Friday morning, not his parents, but him. And there's a list of other things that is set, and if he violates that, he'll return to the Collin County Jail.
All right. All right, come on, man. Just follow back behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Karmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Karmelo, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
We can't do this in here. We have to go. We have to go out.
What's up, John? What's up with it? Okay. This is Karmelo Anthony lawyer. Come on with.
Right here on that crowd.
Right up front. Yeah. Go ahead and mic you up.
Y'all ready?
Get that closer, Billy.
Are you ready?
5 more seconds.
5 more seconds? Okay. Good? Everybody good? Every Texan has the right to defend themselves when they reasonably fear for their life. Self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story. And Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
Mike, you took umbrage with the state's assessment that this was simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and we've only heard one side. In any criminal case, the police investigate, and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that we keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation.
Is your client going to be able to make bond and get out today?
I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go. Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out. And then, there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is, why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice, that let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Karmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
How has
your feeling on the reduction of this bond? You feel it's fair?
Yeah, I feel it's fair. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Karmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
What was Karmelo's reaction today? He didn't seem very talkative toward you, and how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager, and is he on suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Karmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. I think we have to all remember Karmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never been in any sort of trouble before. If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process, and I can't even imagine what was going through his head, just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So, this is something that is new to all of them and incredibly trying.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? I mean, what is your experience? I mean, you had to be really good.
I can't speak as to why I was selected. In any case, it's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in any case.
Just how unsafe does this family feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine the press coverage on this case has been immense, and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction one way or the other has been intense, and threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. So, I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down. That the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that everyone does. But at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully for both sides. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Grab that mic from you. Thank you so much.
I almost took your mic.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Hey, how you doing?
This was seconds before Karmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf twin brothers and their friends incident. This was seconds before the twin brothers.
Well, things have gotten worse for the Karmelo and Austin situation. The judge is now facing backlash all over Twitter for reducing Karmelo's bond. And people are trying to say that it has something to do with, you guys know. As you guys know, Karmelo was put on house arrest after this judge reduced his bond. And now this has led people on social media to come after the judge, stating that she only did it due to personal interest, if you catch my drift. That led people on social media to bring up the Kyle situation, stating that how is it not the same thing? Well, you have those saying that's not the same thing because they claim that Kyle actually was defending himself, while they feel like Karmelo was not. While others are saying that everybody who is upset at the judge is a pure hypocrite, that yes, their two situations are the same, but some people feel like Karmelo's situation was more justified than Kyle's situation. Regardless, the judge is scared for her safety. She has privated all her social media accounts. What do you guys think about this situation? Please keep it PG-13 in my comment section. I do not need my video being removed. Thank you. Well, social media is in a frenzy after Karmelo Anthony's bond has been reduced to only $250K. And if they do 10% over there, that's $25K. This has some people upset. But quick summary, you guys know Anthony is being accused of taking the life of Austin over a seat. You have people parading that his bail has been reduced because, as you guys know, people raised upwards of close to $400,000 for him and another $400,000 for Austin. As you guys know, the people who've been donating to Anthony have stated that they believe that it was in self-defense due to the fact of two witness statements, one claiming that Austin touched Anthony's bag, another one claiming that Anthony told Austin, touch me and you'll find out, and Austin proceeded to touch him, which then proceeded to the fatal stab. But as I tell you guys all the time, I'm just here reporting the news. What do you guys think about this development? Please keep it PG-13 in my comment section. I can already smell the arguments.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video. An update, good news, well, kind of good news. Karmelo Anthony is released from jail on Monday. Okay, his bond got reduced to $250K. So 10% will be, I think, 25,000. So he's out on bond and he's wearing an ankle monitor. So people are excited about this. I'm kind of mixed about it, but I guess because no real facts has really come out yet, so I guess he's innocent until guilty. So Carmelo Anthony is back at home after he bonded out of jail on Monday. A judge agreed to reduce his $1 million bond to $250,000. Carmelo is charged with murder for the stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet, April 2nd, 2025. After the judge granted his bond reduction, Karmelo was given the terms of his release. He was fitted with an ankle monitor and was placed on house arrest. He will only be allowed to leave the house if he has prior approval from the court. He is to be supervised by a parent or a designated adult at all times. He is not allowed to have any direct or indirect contact with Austin Metcalf's family. He is allowed to go to his attorney's office for scheduled meetings that he approved by the court. He must check in with the bailiff every Friday morning until the case is moved to a different court. The court requires Carmelo's family to update their address with the Collin County Sheriff's Office if they need to relocate for safety reasons. Violating the bond conditions could land Carmelo in the Collin County Jail. The judge also advised Carmelo to stay off of social media. After Carmelo was arrested, his initial bond was set at $1 million. He was then arraigned, and then the bond reduction hearing was set. After his bond was reduced, his family posted the bond, and he was released from jail. There will be many court hearings scheduled between now and the possible trial. Prosecutors in this case will seek a grand jury indictment. During the grand jury, only the state may present evidence, and the grand jury believes the state has the evidence to go to trial. Anthony will be indicted. If not, and Carmelo is no billed, the original charge will be dropped. I don't know what no build means. The state could seek a different charge if that happens. There will be a period of time for preliminary hearings and pre-trial motions. Each side will prepare their case, and they could negotiate a possible plea agreement. If there is no plea agreement, a trial date will be set. At this time, the defendant can decide to have a jury trial or have a bench trial. If the defendant chooses a jury trial, the jury would have to be anonymous in their decision. And if found not guilty, the defendant will be released. If convicted, there would then be a sentencing hearing. After the sentencing hearing, the defendant may request review of their conviction by an appellate court. The appeal must allege specific errors or abuses of discretion by the trial court. The appellate court may affirm the conviction, reverse it, or remand the case for retrial. Okay, so there we go. That's an update. And I hope that this kid learns from this. And I know that, well, eventually, that other people will learn not to put their hands on people. Okay? Because people don't like to be touched. Period. And I don't know A lot of people know this case because it's worldwide news. And honestly, my opinion, if nobody knew about this case, if this hasn't gone out, I honestly think Karmelo will still be sitting in jail right now. That's my honest opinion. Because I see, like, I don't know, like, mainly white people that shoot up schools. They don't get bond or anything. And they're still sitting in jail, and we don't know what they did until it comes out that, oh my God, it was a school shooting. And then we know, like, oh, that's just my opinion. If nobody knew about this, but since this is such an uproar and, racial division for what I don't know, they let this boy go because of his skin color. But who knows? I don't know. Right? I'm not there. I'm just giving the update. But good luck to Karmelo Anthony. Good luck in life.
Trigger warning, this video gonna start some mess because I'm about to be messy. But it gotta be said. Huh? This video gonna start some mess because I'm being messy, but it gotta be said. Alright? Listen, guess who got out on bail just now? Huh? Karmelo Anthony, okay? Listen, America is acting like a family arguing on Thanksgiving and a stranger walking the house. America is acting like a family arguing at Thanksgiving and a stranger walking the house. Listen, $250,000 bond. As soon as they dropped it down from $1 million to $250,000, my boy got out. He said, I got that. Yeah, right up in the GoFundMe. Drop it. Yeah. So now that he walking out, it's two different arguments. And I'm going to say both of them. We all family here. Let's just get it out the way. Okay? White people saying, well, why did he have a knife at school? He could have told somebody. I don't think it was that serious to take the boy's life. I mean, all kids horse around in school, right? I don't think it's about race. Listen. Now let's go to the black side. Black people like, a knife? That's Mando. That's Mando. Every young man need a knife at least. Matter of fact, when I grew up, that's the least of your worries. They was bringing more than that to school. Amen? But, at the same token, somebody did lose their life. But now all this backstory coming out, and black people sitting there, waiting for white people to say something, and white people not saying nothing, they just saying like little snarky remarks. The boy got out of jail, and the white lady that was the reporter said, well, why were you armed at school? That's what we calling it now? If I put a rock in my pocket at school and walk in with it, am I armed? God, why we gotta take it so far? You got scissors in your book bag. Come on now. This is a young man. Needless to say, I know y'all can tell by the way I told y'all both sides what side I'm with. But we will reconvene at a later date. Let's just see how this goes. And we will be covering this. Comment section, get messy. That's what we're here for. I'm just a messenger.
All right, you guys. So we now have an update in the case of Karmelo Anthony. So we know that there was a hearing that was held this morning. And this hearing was to reduce his bond from $1 million down to something lower. So a judge has decided to reduce Karmelo's bond to $250,000. And if he makes his bond, he will be on house arrest. So during this hearing, it's being said that his mother and his father did speak out. And they expressed to the court that Karmelo had never been in any trouble before this situation. Karmelo is also the oldest of 3 siblings, and the family moved to their area around 2021. They also expressed that he is the captain of the football team and track team. Now, y'all, the reason why that is important is because a lot of people were saying that he wasn't on the track team and that he wasn't supposed to be at that event. So the prosecution actually brought up the fact that the family has a GoFundMe. And they asked the family, look, y'all have a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is at over $400,000. Why haven't y'all bundled him out? And his mom told them, look, it's a process to get that money out. You can't just go and withdraw the money, especially not $400,000. They also said that a lot of that GoFundMe money has to go to his legal defense. Now, once he's placed on house arrest, he cannot use social media, and he has to report and talk to a bailiff every Friday.
Say the judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next.
Now, you guys, let's remember innocent until proven guilty. This kid still has to go to trial, and he still has to have his day in court just like everybody else. The rumors, the accusations, everything is going on is going to hurt his case. There is no reason why people should be mad that he has to go fund me for his legal defense. He needs a legal defense. He needs a lawyer. This is anybody that is facing a case, they need a lawyer. As of right now, that is all the information that I have. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this so far, and I will keep you guys updated.
What's up, y'all? I'm here with an update for you guys on the Karmelo Anthony case. If you're wondering if witnesses spoke up or if his bond has been reduced, stay tuned to learn more. Karmelo Anthony's bond has been reduced from $1 million to $250,000. He's been granted house arrest in the fatal Frisco case. The first week of April, Austin Metcalf sadly lost his life at a track meet in Texas. Many people are talking about this case because Karmelo's defense is that it was self-defense. And if you want to learn more about this topic, please scroll down my page. During today's hearing, the defense attorney for Karmelo Anthony questioned Karmelo's dad about his character. His father testified that Karmelo was an A student and the captain of both his football and track team. The prosecutors in this case also questioned Karmelo's father, but they only submitted a police report. Many people were hoping to hear from witnesses. So reportedly, there were no witnesses, but the prosecutors did bring up a separate assault involving Anthony on February 4th of this year, which was handled by Frisco ISD. The prosecutors also brought to the judge's attention that Anthony's family has raised over $400,000 online, and they wondered why haven't they used that money to bail Anthony out as of yet. Karmelo Anthony's father responded by saying he's the sole provider for the family and that $1 million bond was something that he could not afford. The defense for Karmelo also argued that this fundraiser is not a bond fundraiser. It is going to be used towards many other things that the family will need during this challenging time. So the defense had argued for Karmelo's bond to be reduced down to $150,000 with an ankle monitor. The prosecution requested that the bond stayed at $1 million. The judge ultimately ruled that the bond will be lowered to $250,000 and he's to stay at his parents' house and also wear an ankle monitor. Judge said that if Anthony violated that rule, then he would be returned back to the Collin County Jail. So what do y'all think? Do y'all feel like this judge has been fair to Karmelo by reducing the bond to $250,000 rather than the $150,000 that the defense was asking for, along with the ankle monitor? Or what do y'all think? Let me know in the thoughts. Do y'all think Karmelo will be coming home soon?